All right. Okay, then we have the last bylaw, which is the agreement with Idea Inc. for the Chantry office. And I have it moved by Councillor Paula Banks, seconded by Councillor Hutchings. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2024-114 to execute an agreement with Idea Inc. for the Chantry office be taken as read a first and second time the short way this 4th day of November 2024. And I do want to note that I'll be making a statement with respect to this bylaw, and I'll do that after everyone else has had an opportunity to speak, and then I'll call the question. Comments or questions with respect to this contract? Councillor Carr.
Okay, this, what we're going to read here, is basically going out to get a price, is that correct?
Yes.
Just to get a price?
Yes.
I will have to respond to that, not another member of council, please.
Well, I wasn't talking to staff, I was looking at kind of you, so.
This is to do the next two steps.
That this is to complete project deliverable 2,
And
which
three.
is construction drawings and class estimates, and project deliverable 3, we're going out to tender.
And we took away deliverable number 4, which was supervising the construction of the tender if it's awarded.
Correct.
When it's
So is that not what we've been looking for all along, it's just a price?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's all we're looking for, so why do we have to, guess all we wanna do is get a price? And we've decided there was gonna be a committee that's formed, which they apparently have, I don't know if you've met or not. They haven't? Okay,
We
so,
require today to pass before we'll get that group together.
okay, so this here bylaw, what is that going to do to the 4?
It just means that the 4 will be part of the 30, 60, 90% drawing. So what you're tasking us to do now is to go and design the renovation here
Okay.
and the addition.
Okay,
And
but-
get, and put it out to tender.
okay, so it's nothing to build it, it's just money.
Design it.
Design it,
Find
get
out
us a
how much.
price, okay, I can go with that.
Okay, other comments or questions? Deputy Mayor Maxwell.
My problem with that is we have to spend another $100,000 now to get that price. That's where the problem comes in, and it's not in the budget. To be trying to do, because it's looking also at doing that by the end of the year. And it's been commented on around the table that if the tender, when it comes in, is too high, then we just throw that out and start all over again. And I just cringe at spending another, that's what we did with the hub. It was $360,000, and that just went right out the window because we never got to the tender. We never will find out what that building was going to cost us. What we've been trying to do here is, it's a slow process, but it was going through by individual stages as we went along and trying to do a comparison to what it would be if we didn't do the reno here and did the build new someplace else. This way, we're going to have, I don't know, they'll come in with a cost of, say, $4 million, and then what are you gonna compare it to? You haven't got anything to compare it to because you've gone in the one direction. So then you end up probably, more than likely, it will be do the reno here because that's the information we've got, and it's not where the staff wanna be, and it's not where the public would like to see the office.
Okay, thank you for that. I will go to Councillor Paula Banks.
Yes, this may have been out of budget, but I go back to 2015. From 2015 till 2023, we have ran a surplus every single year. 400,000, 411, 850, 682, 319. Last year, over $1 million. We just, like, you spent 360,000 on a project, you spent, I don't know, 10 years working on it, and the first start of it was underground parking in Portland. Don't get angry at us because it was started off wrong and you guys kept going down the rabbit hole with it. We have hashed this out over and over, and every time we hear from the public, you may hear from the same 10 or 15, 45, 60 people. We got emails from the same people, it was copy and paste. We got one original email from a taxpayer. which I read and I will respond to. The rest were copy and paste, so it didn't mean much to me. We have tried to get this to go to tender since we came and we voted down the hub. Our original thought was build a small library, Hall in Portland, and get this fixed. So I'm hoping we can stop rehashing it again so we can move on. Let's vote.
Okay, Councillor Jeff Banks, you wish to speak to it?
So regardless if we build here or we build somewhere else, we used to take a tender out on this building to find out what it's gonna have to be to get it fixed. There's over $500,000 in identified deficiencies in the building, so we have to take that tender, we're gonna have to take that out on a tender. This will give us all that information. And we're not pushing it till the end of the year. We have February, I think the CAO had said that probably January is gonna be when this is going to be done. So even if we still get a quote and it comes in at, I'm gonna blow this right out, like, it comes in at $30 million, we don't have to take it. You have to go to tender to find out what it's gonna cost. That's what you have to do. So we still have to, even go, if we don't build this, we still have to send a tender out for a new office. Because we don't know what that is. It was just a guesstimate also. These people, all they do is give you an estimate. They have no idea what the actual costs are gonna be. Are they high level? Yes, they are, but they don't know exactly what the tender's gonna come in. They tendered the Portland Hall at $4 million, it came in at 2.4. They tendered the Fire Hall at 3.4, 3.6 million, it came in at 1.8. So, I don't have a lot of, well, I mean, they give us quality estimates. The problem is that when the guy comes in and he says, you pay me this much and I'll do it, that's when you get the actual numbers. And so we have to do this to find out anyways what this cost us in the building. And I think that we need to support this and go forward and find out what it's gonna cost. That's what we have to do. We have to do our, what we call due diligence.
Okay. Anyone else wish to speak to this? Second time, Deputy Mayor Maxwell.
Okay,
I'll
well,
give everybody a second
I don't,
opportunity.
like, that's all fine and good, but when you've got 80% of the staff saying they don't wanna be here, you've got all kinds of information coming in from the public that would like to see it out in a community somewhere where it's more accessible and more available and something that the community can be. And on top of that, staff is advising against renovating this because it's not worth doing. So I don't understand what the push is for doing the renovation. What's the attachment to Chantry? I don't get it.
Okay, I've got Councillor Hutchings and then Councillor Pollard.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There is no attachment to this place. I always, from the beginning, should have done a long time ago. You gotta know what you got, what it costs you to fix it, and then you move on. But you can't move on, and you can't do anything until you know the real prices. There's no estimates. This is too big of a deal for an estimate. So, I wanna know the real thing, because if I'm gonna go on a car, I wanna know if my old car is okay. And what I'm gonna do with my old car, it's gonna turn into a farm truck. We gotta know what this is gonna end up being, if it's too much to cost, and then we go on to somewhere else, because we still have to fix this,
Yep.
is the bottom line. And I wanna know what the cost is, the real cost.
You're finished?
I'm finished now, yep.
Thank you. I go to Councillor Pollard.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Marcy said, though, what are we going to compare with? They both should have been done neck and neck. No. Yeah, it's already printed to be very close to the same. If it comes back at 100,000 less than the new one, then that's to be dealt with. Are you going to spend more to build a new one?
Yeah.
Than you are.
If it's
Yeah.
$100,000, yes.
But you
Please
have no
direct
way
your
of knowing.
comments to the chair
Yes, that's-
only, and do not interrupt other speakers.
Yes, that's.
Thank you.
I just feel that when it comes back, we'd like to see the both of them come back then. That, yeah, it's quoted at 3.3, 3.4 million. We're not gonna know that.
Let's do
If
it.
it comes back at 2, then the other one's still sitting at 3.3, because it's not been done yet. And they do it by square footage. Is basically how the commercial ones are done. is so much a square foot. And they already have that figured out, so that's where the first numbers came from. Now you want detailed numbers.
I wanna know what the septic system is gonna cost.
Again, one person at a time, please. Jeff Banks, you're next.
I keep hearing, you know, the majority of the public, there were 60-some people at a public meeting, 60-some people. And 3 of them were sitting in this chamber. And I know that the people that sent in the letters that are constantly getting the letters from, a lot of them were from there. And then we had a bunch of people from Elgin that were promoting their piece of property. So I don't take a lot of faith in 60 people when there's 10,000 original citizens in this township, and there's another 5,000 that are taxpayers that get to vote also. So, you know, for that population, 60 is less than 0.5%. So, there's no push for any renovations here, nothing whatsoever, there's no push whatsoever. It is to find out what it's gonna cost, not to renovate, it's just to find out what it's gonna cost. When that is done, we get a cost on it, and then we can take a look at a new build, because the new build number is only a guess also, so we're gonna have to go out to tender to get it too. So, and that's gonna be another $100,000. And then we'll have 2 things to compare with, if we go that way. I don't know which way council's gonna go. If this comes back at $6 million, I'm not gonna touch this place at all. Absolutely not. If it comes back at, you know, 1 or 2 million, then I think we've got a situation where we may have to take a look at it. But until we know what this cost is to fix this, we all have to remember that we have to fix this anyway, if we build a new building somewhere else.
Or tear it down.
Or, well, then you still have to pay that
Or
cost.
sell it.
Or sell it, but,
Again,
but
let's have
we
just the
still
speakers.
have to find out how much this is gonna cost to fix if we're gonna keep it. I'm not about to tear any building down, not whatsoever, especially when we just had 4 reports and all 4 of them, everything's satisfactory. There's a few upgrades that have to be done and some, you know, some equipment and that, but to the tune of $500,000, and of course, one of them is $90-some thousand just for the asphalt outside, so.
Okay. Who else would like to speak to this before I bring closure?
How do you
to
get
it?
a cost?
All right, now, I'm gonna make a statement on this as well. And I'm asking that, and I'm gonna read it because I didn't want to miss anything. I'm asking that you'll reconsider this recent decision to move forward with a retrofit of this building along with an addition at this site. It has become very clear over the last few months that our citizens do not support a retrofit, and we need to respect that feedback. If we are not convinced of this, then a referendum should be undertaken before more dollars are spent with our architects and engineers. A referendum is not that expensive, given the magnitude of this investment. Our last election, for example, cost under $50,000. And as such, a simple question put to them, I believe, would be less than half of that amount. At this point, we know that our staff do not support a retrofit, over 80% from the survey. We asked our staff opinion, they gave us their opinion. Nor does the feedback from our architects, engineers, open house. 88% of those that attended support a new build on another site. As well, the architects and the engineers have provided high-level estimates, I'll grant you they're high-level estimates, 3.5 million to 4 million, that clearly recommend against repurposing this building and building new elsewhere. In fact, it is less expensive to do so according to those professionals. This building could and should be converted back to a garage and archival space. And that will be a cost to that. And the initial estimate was about $500,000. Building elsewhere eliminates the considerable incentive of asking, the considerable inconvenience of asking staff to work in the middle of a construction zone for over a year. This will impact staff retention and recruitment, and not taking staff's advice will continue to dramatically affect future morale here. The challenges with a retrofit on this site have been well documented and include things like parking, utilities, the heating system, the air conditioning, the septic system size, roofing, windows, the well, we're currently using bottled water here, asbestos, energy efficiency, accessibility, privacy, the remote location. There's less opportunity to build to green standards if we retrofit, or to obtain green grants. There is no economic spin-off in this location, and it's a low visibility site. This site ignores the considerable economic benefit that comes from a location where plus or minus 25 employees could provide to a village or a hamlet, and being located on or near a highway. What this council should be doing or debating now is where should a new build occur? Staff proposed investigating up to 5 sites, and then have council decide where we move forward. We own property, or we have property that's been donated or would be donated, all in at least 3 of our major villages, Portland, Newborough, and Elgin. And that could easily support a new municipal office that we all could be proud of. If we need to add several $1 million to our debt load, we need to listen to our citizens and get this decision right. And take the time, not rush things, take the time to do it right. These issues have divided this council, and a reasoned decision could well serve to get us back on track. A new building on a green site would give us a 50-year solution, while a retrofit is at best a 25-year solution in my view. I implore council to pull together on this and listen to our ratepayers. As such, I cannot and will support spending another $110,000 plus to extend the contract with IDEA, our engineering architect firm, to design a new build for here in Chantry. That is my statement, and I will now ask for a recorded vote, and I will call the clerk to call the question. And I'm hoping council has some flexibility here.
Question?
I had a question.
Nope, I will not take any more comments or questions. I call the vote.
It's gonna be a regret.
Nope.
Okay.
I
Councillor
said I
Jeff,
would speak less to it, and I did.
Okay.
Councillor Jeff Banks,
I have to find out the cost, yes.
Councillor Paula Banks.
Yes.
Councillor Carr,
Yes, cost.
Councillor Delaney,
No.
Councillor Dunfield,
Yes.
Councillor Hutchings,
Yes.
Councillor Pollard,
No.
Deputy Mayor Maxwell,
No.
Mayor Hoogan.
No. Motion is carried, and on a recorded vote. Thank you, members. We will move on. Now, I now have third reading of that bylaw. I have the card seconded by Councillor Jeff Banks.